Let's talk about Bangladesh. Bangladesh is having a real problem with radical Muslims killing atheists. Last year, Dr. Avijit Roy was killed, hacked to death by assailants with cleavers. Last year, Oyasakur Rahman was killed, also hacked to death by extremists with cleavers. Police saying, from what we've gathered after a primary interrogation, is that they killed him because he criticized hardline Islamists. Also, last year, Ananta Bijoy Das, a secular blogger, was hacked to death by extremists with cleavers. And also last year, Niloy Chatterjee and Faisal Aragan Dipan, both hacked to death by cleavers. The scariest part of all of this, besides the fact that the Bangladeshi government doesn't seem to give a damn about any of it, is that we continue to see the violence this year. Now, 24-year-old Nazimuddin Samad is the next victim of apparent Islamic butchery because of his so-called promotion of atheism. Now, sometimes the term butchery, Lewis, is a figurative term, but it is a literal truth here. He was hacked to death by machetes reminiscent of the cleavers used in a butcher shop. This is disgusting, and it is a trend that we are seeing.
Yeah, many atheist bloggers flee the country. Some stay, and they are constantly in fear. This is the climate. Like you said, the government does not seem to be too anxious to figure out who was behind it and to nab all of them.
Nazim's friends said that he would campaign for secularism on Facebook, right? The separation of church and state. He was critical of radical Islamists, and a day before he was murdered, he actually expressed concerns over the country's law and order in a Facebook post. And there have been rumors over the last several years that the terrorist group Ansarullah Bangla had a hit list of 84 people, many of whom have been murdered since this hit list was released. I'm told that Samad was not on that particular list. The Center for Inquiry has been following this. They put out a statement saying that they've been working to rescue secularists in Bangladesh who have been targeted for killing. They are demanding that the Bangladeshi government take affirmative steps to protect its people and their right to criticize Islam. Death, Lewis, bigotry, hatred, anger, all in the name of religion in Bangladesh. And remember that there are apologists like Reza Aslan, who we've done an expose on, who often point to Bangladesh as one of the more moderate places within the Muslim world. Oh, women have total equality in Bangladesh, Reza Aslan has said, which has been denied, by the way, by Bangladeshi feminists. Meanwhile, the reality is we have the systematic hacking to death of non-believers and a government that is almost completely unwilling to do a thing about it. This is a crisis. This is like red alert going off like crazy here. And we see relatively muted reactions from the West. And maybe this goes back to what we've talked about. When you come to sort of expect this type of thing, or it is more common, the visceral reactions are reduced when we have individual instances. But this is a disgusting pattern of this butchery against non-believers in Bangladesh.
Yeah. And unfortunately, my advice to, let's just say, secular and atheist bloggers or those who want to spread their message in Bangladesh, my advice is to get out and do it from a distance, because you can still use the same platforms. There's just really no reason to die and then not be able to discuss this anymore or, quote, promote atheism.
Right. Or secularism, as the case sometimes is. If you could sometimes make the case that a death will help to achieve some kind of political gain or send some kind of message. That's not even happening here. I mean, they would be far more effective staying alive and working on these issues from outside of the country. From a pragmatic standpoint, as we know, leaving the lone country that has ever been your home, easy for us to say, sitting here in Boston, Massachusetts, living where we want to live, maybe not quite so easy for someone who is in Bangladesh, and we have to obviously be sensitive to that. I'm on Twitter at @dpakman. Lewis is on Twitter at Lewis Motamedi. Send me your thoughts on this story.
Warby Parker is offering a free 5-day home try-on to give you the opportunity to check out their glasses. I personally wear Warby Parker glasses when I'm not wearing my contact lenses, And I also started with one of these free at-home try-ons of 5 pairs of glasses. You can get your free home try-on and support the David Pakman Show at warbyparkertrial.com/TDPS. I don't really like going into glasses stores and trying on glasses while the salesperson sort of hovers over me, and I like more than 30 seconds to actually figure out whether I like the glasses. So with the Warby Parker home try-on, I was able to pick 5 pairs that I liked, put them on in the comfort of my own home, pick the one I like the most, and then Warby Parker put my prescription lenses in there for me. A lot of people don't know that the eyeglass industry is controlled by just a few big corporations that keep prices very high, like $300 for prescription glasses high, which is just insane. Warby Parker glasses start at $95. That's what mine cost. And for every pair of glasses sold, Warby Parker distributes a pair of glasses to someone in need. You can try 5 pairs and see what you like. Check out the at-home trial and support our show by going to warbyparker.com/TDPS. It costs nothing.